So here's how we're sitting with the stonework. I'm leapfrogging my way in, slowly encapsulating the weak areas. I felt as if I could swipe away a large amount of those stones there. So I've done this face, done leading up to this face, and leading up to this face. I still have to come back through and finish off that guy, but it's stable, it's sound now. And when I'm doing my work here, I'm just doing small sections at a time so that I don't disturb too much at once, because again, a lot of these feel a little loose. Not anymore, but I had to come back through and pour this 300-pound curb, I'll call it, using the British methodology, so it's below the rocks that are there. And I come back through and mortar those rocks in. I thought there were rocks coming down to here, but it turns out it's just dirt that's fallen away. So I poured a little footer here, did that, little footer here, did that. And I say little, but these are pretty large. They're, you know, at least a foot square, a little bit more than that. Anyway, this guy's the biggest one so far, and I'll come back through and finish off this guy, keeping everything nice and supported, not disturbing too much at once. Done it in a few sections. It's working out pretty well so far. I'll have to come back through and redress this guy so that it's all taken care of. I'll do that with concrete though, making it nice and sound. As far as the columns go, and of course I'm going to wait on the report before I do anything crazy, but this conversation we had about not point loading these old beams and dispersing that weight over a larger area, great idea, except I can't do it over there where I have the ductwork. That'll get in the way. So I came up with this solution. I got 16 feet of 1/2-inch thick A36 steel. We can see the beaver marks of my apprentice plasma cutting skills. Slowly getting better, but this is practice for that application where those two columns are, so I can get around that ductwork. Again, 1/2-inch thick, so she's pretty sizable. I'm no pipe welder, but the weld itself isn't holding any weight, isn't bearing any weight. It's just affixing this plate to this column. And this beam here, as we can see, isn't fully centered on here. I want more meat on the sister side of it. And the reason being is this guy at the top of it, this old column, this old beam rather, has termite damage from here all the way to about where that electrical box is. And then it gets better again. This sister was held on with deck screws, and I feel like that's the wrong kind of fastener. So I feel like something like a Simpson strong tie. I'm not entirely sure. Hoping the report will tell me what screws or fasteners to use. This guy is elephant footed because this original column, and this used to be the top of it, which is why that plate's so large. This original column was buried about 6 inches in the dirt, and then below that there's a large footer. It comes way out here, and I wanted to affix my new footer to it, so I used Tapcon screws for a mechanical advantage, acting kind of like rebar. I used a concrete binder. I poured this new guy, about 8 inches thick as well, to it, and poured this at the same time, so they're all, you know, this is all homogeneous. And I have rebar cage in here running down. I have rebar running parallel here, keeping everything at least 1.5 inches away from any edge to prevent cracking. It's closer to about 2 inches away from the edges. I didn't sit here with a micrometer though, so I think that'll be fine. And I think this will be the solution for that ductwork. I won't weld on the plate to the new columns over there. I'll just drill out the holes and fix it in that manner, you know, corresponding here. And I should be able to center those guys up a lot better than this guy, again, just because I have this huge footer underneath here that's underneath this dirt. So I think this is where the old coal scuttle used to be. So I guess that's something from there. Who knows? Anyway, I think it's strong enough. We no longer have that 1/2-inch dip in the floor. I removed the screws of the sister when I jacked this guy up. I did not jack up the floor, but I removed the 1/2-inch gap. I used to be able to slip my fingers all the way in there, and now it is tight. Floor's cupped. That's fine. You don't sag when you walk around now. I think it's working out well. Of course, I'm waiting on the report before I do anything too crazy. Coming through though and just addressing all these guys because they're a little loose and there's no weight on that, but it does keep this guy in place. I'll have to crawl through, take care of that sometime. Just a little bit at a time. It's adding up.